Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round 2 of the League Challenge that happened at Die Hard Games on January 11th, 2024. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format anyone wants, really. More info in the description. League Challenge Thursday, February 15th at 6 p.m., and League Cup Saturday, February 24th at 11 a.m. Both Central Time, both at Die Hard Games, and check out Pokemon's event locator for more premier events there, such as League Challenges, League Cups, and pre-releases. Please hit that like button right quick. Subscribe to this channel. Ring the bell for notifications. Say what you need to say in the comments and all that other good free stuff. But anyways, let's get into this game. The classic Miraidon versus Entei Iron Valiant. Looks like Entei Iron Valiant is starting things off here with a Battle VIP pass. That infamous item card lets you search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon to put onto your bench, but you can only play it on your first turn. Squawkabilly being eyed up immediately as one of the targets. And let's see what the other target is. Maybe an Iron Valiant, maybe another Entei V. Just depends on what's in hand. Looks like Iron Valiant will be the target there with its Tachyon Bits ability. Let's see if that'll be a factor here in this turn. Earthen Vessel being played. Okay, to discard a card, discarding one of the precious double turbo energy, to search the deck for up to 2 basic energy. So definitely going to be used to get some fire in the discard this first turn off of the Squawkin' Seas. And the deck is just being looked through here during the first deck search to kind of get a feel for what's in the deck, what might be prized. Both fire energy going to be found here. I think we're going to see one be attached maybe, but we're getting our ability markers out here first. Or both fire energy could be put into the discard pile, just depends on what the hand looks like. Fleet-footed being used first. Off of that Entei V, when it's in the active spot, you can use Fleet-footed to draw a card. Medicham V is in the hand. That's being debated on being benched. It looks like it will be, since there are some low HP Pokemon on the opposing side. Potential Yoga Loops being considered here. A backup Entei V is put onto the bench. Fire energy will be attached to that Entei V. Switch cart being used, okay, to bring that Entei V into the active spot. Second Fleet-footed being used here. Finding that Forest Seal Stone, very nice, and that it gets immediately attached to the Medicham V. Basic switch, switching into the Iron Valiant. Iron Valiant with its Tachyon Bits ability. Once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves from your bench to the active spot, you may put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So it moved into the active spot. 2 damage counters were put onto that bench Mareep. Looking to KO it on this turn using Squawkabilly EX's Squawkin' Seas ability. You can only use it on your first turn. When you do, discard the hand and draw 6 cards. Another Iron Valiant hits the bench there. Actually, the Mareep cannot be KO'd on this turn with this board state. I think the Mareep has 70 HP as well, so it was pretty safe, actually. Alright, Future Booster Energy Capsule put on to the active Iron Valiant, giving it free retreat. It also gives it, I think, plus 20 attack damage, but that's not relevant in this deck. The free retreat's the main thing. The Iron Valiant free retreats into the other Iron Valiant. Since it becomes active, it uses its Tachyon Bits ability to put 2 more damage counters on the bench Mirreep, and play will be passed over to our Miraidon player. With Miraidon EX in the active spot, its tandem unit ability is used. That lets you search the deck for 2 basic lightning Pokemon, up to 2 basic lightning Pokemon, and put them onto the bench. Built-in Battle VIP Pass for electric Pokemon. Raikou V is found, as well as a second Mareep, backup Mareep, and now a second tandem unit is being used by the Miraidon EX on the bench to search the deck for 1 more electric Pokemon, since you can only have 5 Pokemon on the bench. Now let's see. I don't know if there's any merit to grabbing the Raichu V. Maybe a second Raikou could be found here, where there's already 2 Miraidon in play, and you've got the 2 Mareep as well. So let's see what our electric player chooses here. Oh, actually going for that Iron Hands, okay. So there is a Squawkabilly EX on the bench there. The Amp You Very Much attack on the Iron Hands would take 3 prizes on the Electric Weak Squawkabilly, so pretty good pressure to put that Iron Hands into play here. Also thins it out of the deck, so makes your top decks that much better. And electric generators as well, one of them being played here. You look at the top 5 cards of the deck, and you can attach up to 2 lightning energy you find in those 5 cards to your bench lightning Pokemon in any way you like. Let's see if we've got the double hit. Yes, we do. Double hit off the electric generator here. Both lightning energy going onto the bench Raikou V. Let's make sure we've got our speed the way we want it here. Yeah, we do. You guys didn't see that, right? Alright, and do we have any more electric generators? They always seem to come in pairs, in my experience at least. And there we go. Second electric generator being played. Let's look at the top 5 and find at least 2 lightning energy there. Oh, fail, the second electric generator. So, it was kind of like our player here played 2 max elixir and hit both of them, right? Let me know if you know about that max elixir in the comments. And let's see what else our electric player has for us this turn. Are we going to see that Raikou V attack? It can take the KO here. Lost Vacuum being played to send a card to the Lost Zone in order to send a tool or stadium to the Lost Zone. That Future Booster Energy Capsule being sent to the Lost Zone. And a research. Perfect research. Love the fist bump there. 0 cards to discard. 7 new cards into the hand. Definitely going to find the switching card here, right? Because the Raikou V will be doing the full 220 damage with the Lightning Rondo. That Iron Valiant in the active spot has exactly 220 HP. Aha, and we just needed the attach and the retreat. Manually attach to the active Miraidon EX, retreat into that Raikou V. Ooh, no fleet-footed though. Not sure if our player forgot or chose not to, but either way, Lightning Rondo takes the KO on the opposing Iron Valiant. And now we need to choose a new active Pokemon on Entei's side. Depends on what's in hand. It's annoying that the future booster energy capsule was lost zoned, because then that would be the easy choice, most likely, of who to promote into the active spot here. Do an account of the opponent's hand to see how many cards they have and what they might have access to on the next turn. But finally, that energyless Entei V is put into the active spot, and play resumes on the Entei side, starting off with a course experiment to look at the top 5 cards of the deck, put 2 of them into the lost zone, keep the other 3 in hand. No lost zone number triggers off in this deck, just using the course experiment as a way to dig even deeper into the deck. Course experiment and nest ball being put into the lost zone. The other 3 cards must have felt more important. The Raikou V is the energized threat on the opponent's side of the field, so that's the Pokemon that most likely will be targeted by a KO here. Let's see, with the 9 Pokemon in play, Burning Rondo does take the KO on the 200 HP Raikou V. Thank goodness there were no Bravery Charm put onto it. Fleet-footed being used by the active Entei V to draw a card. And now we need a energy and a switch card. What's that called? Turbo Energy. I think it's Turbo Energy. That would also work. Jet Energy. That's what it's called. Jet Energy would be good here. But first, going to go with the switch card to switch into that Iron Valiant. Tachyon Bits putting 2 more damage on the benched Miraidon. Forest Seal Stone being used here. Star Alchemy. V-Star Power Ability can search the deck for a card. That double Turbo Energy being found, and Yoga Loop seems to be happening this turn. So yep, double Turbo Energy found off of the Forest Seal Stone and attached to the Medicham V. Let's see if there is a switch card. There is the Escape Rope. Doesn't matter who's promoted because it looks like we're Yoga Looping. Probably would have been better to play the Escape Rope first before attaching that energy. Either way, Damage Miraidon comes into the active spot. Medicham V comes into the active spot and uses Yoga Loop. Yoga Loop puts 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon, and if the Pokemon's knocked out from that damage placement, then the Yoga Loop user gets to just take another turn. So, Miraidon KO'd, Miraidon comes into the active spot, and play continues with a new turn on Entei Iron Valiant's side. Another Iron Valiant put into play. Bench is nice and full there. Fire Energy attached to the bench Entei. It's currently only doing 200 damage right now with its Burning Rondo attack, but that could potentially be fixed with some Tachyon Bits. Escape Rope being played here. The opponent needs to pick a new active Pokemon first. That Iron Hands being put into the active spot with its 230 HP. Let's see who is promoted on Entei's side. I've seen a Escape Rope in hand, so things could get a little tricky here as there's lots of movements going on. Let's see, the Escape Rope will put something from the bench into the active spot, but it just depends on what else is in the hand. Alright, The Iron Valiant comes into the active spot off of this first escape rope. And now a Tachyon Bits must be fired off. It would go on one of the Miraidon or the active. Looks like it's going to go on one of the Miraidon. Oh, interesting move there. Okay. So there's 20 damage from the Tachyon Bits. Goes on to that Miraidon on the bench. Second escape rope is played, and that Miraidon actually comes into the active spot. So I think we just promote Entei V here, as it's going to be doing 200 damage with its Burning Rondo. That's exactly how much HP the Miraidon in the active spot has left. Followed by a Professor's Research, discarding the hand and drawing 7 fresh new cards. Let's see what else will happen on Entei's side. Fleet-footed, of course, since it's in the active spot to draw a card. See all the options before deciding what to finally do. Escape rope. I didn't really quite catch all the other cards in hand. Discard pile being consulted here to see what resources have been used already. Nothing else to do but attack with Burning Rondo. Taking the KO on the opposing Miraidon EX. 3 prizes to 4 prizes here, and play resumes over on Miraidon's side. Raikou V is currently not taking the KO on the opposing 230 HP Entei V. We will need to see a full bench on Miraidon's side, as well as that lightning symbol Zapdos that gives plus 10 damage to basic electric Pokemon attacks to bring the damage up to 230. Energy manually attached to the bench Miraidon EX. Ultra Ball being played here. Ultra Ball lets you discard 2 cards and search your deck for a Pokemon. Basic, evolution, whatever you want, whatever you need. Ultra Ball will discard an Ultra Ball and a useless Squawkabilly right now. Don't really need the Squawkabilly to fill up the bench to hit your damage benchmarks, as you can still tandem unit with the Miraidon EX that's in play. Our Ultra Ball is going to find that Hawlucha. Let's see what Hawlucha's ability is called while our player's shuffling here. Hawlucha with the Flying Entry ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to your bench during your turn, you may choose 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon and put 1 damage counter on each of them. Alright, Hawlucha is put into play. 1 damage counter goes onto the benched Entei, of course, because it can only target the bench, as well as one of the Iron Valiant. It'd be very nice if the active Pokemon could be targeted with Hawlucha's Flying Entry here. That would certainly lead to a KO. But our electric player is going to have to take things a little bit slower this turn. There is a possibility for boss's orders, but Raikou V is going to use its fleet-footed ability to draw a card. Looks like a lightning energy was found there. And the second Ultra Ball will be played here. Discarding another Ultra Ball. That's all the Ultra Ball, right? Most likely going for the Flaffy with this Ultra Ball. Our player has to choose carefully as that card is going to be gone with that Ultra Ball. Lightning Energy is okay to get rid of, especially if the Flaffy is the target here. And there we go. Ultra Ball finds Flaffy. Flaffy evolves on the bench. Flaffy has that powerful Dynamotor ability, which lets you accelerate a Lightning Energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So we can pretty much get that Miraidon EX on the bench ready to go for next turn. Or the Iron Hands EX could start getting powered up as well. Just depends on what's in hand and our player's strategy. Alright, let's see what else our electric player has in store for us this turn. Raichu EX put onto the bench there. Lots of Magma Basin in that Entei hand there. That's what I caught quickly. Iono being played, all those cards going back to the bottom here. Kind of unfortunate all the Magma Basin Stadium go to the bottom, but let's just resolve and see what happens. I don't know, both players shuffle their hands, put them at the bottom of their deck, and then they each draw for the prize cards they've got remaining. Dynamotor being used to accelerate a Lightning Energy from the discard to the bench Miraidon EX. And an Electric Generator will be played here to take a look at the top 5 and hope there's at least one Lightning Energy in there. Alright, we got one hit. That Miraidon EX is ready to go for next turn. And Flaffy can also power another Pokemon up on the next turn since that Miraidon's fully powered up. Anything else for our electric player to do other than attack for 220 damage? That Entei EX tanking that hit with only 10 HP left. And play resumes over on Entei's side. So let's see there. KO is going to happen on the opposing Raikou, but not before fleet-footed from that Entei V to draw another card. Raikou V or Miraidon EX are valid targets here. But starting things off with Chorus. Looking at the top 5, just digging through the deck, sending the useless things to the Lost Zone and keeping the useful things. Technical Machine Devolution being put into the Lost Zone, as well as another Iron Valiant, or the first Iron Valiant in the Lost Zone, of course, but no more really needed in play at this point, it seems. Plus there's not one more in the deck since the one was knocked out already, so the final 2 Iron Valiant in play should be able to carry through the rest of this game here in the mid-game. 3 prizes to 4 prizes here. Aha, Jet Energy put onto the bench Entei V to bring it into the active spot. It uses Fleet-footed to draw a card. It'd be very nice to be able to attack with this higher HP Entei V this turn. But that would only be possible with the Magma Basin, which are still all at the bottom of the deck, thanks to the last turn's Iono, I believe. There's a switch card in hand, so there's definitely an attack this turn. Even if it's with the heavily damaged Entei V, that's still fine. They're moving far ahead in the prize trade with only 1 prize taken after this turn if there's a KO. Switch cart, moving that bench Entei V back into the active spot and healing off that lightly damaged Entei V, bringing it back to full health. And Burning Rondo takes the KO on the opposing Raikou V. Miraidon EX put into the active spot. Play resumes on the lightning side. Alright, our electric player is going to start things off with Miraidon EX's tandem unit ability. Searching the deck for an electric Pokemon to put onto the bench. That beautiful backup Raikou V being put onto the bench. There is definitely a KO happening. Would really like it to be with a Bravery Charmed Miraidon EX. Can't really even go in with the 1 prizer, as there's only 1 prize card left. It looks like energy was manually attached to the bench Raikou V, and a tandem unit, or excuse me, a Dynamotor was used by the Flaffy to power it up as well. And Miraidon attacks with Photon Blaster to take the KO. No Bravery Charm put onto that Miraidon EX, actually. As our Entei player decides who to promote into the active spot. It's going to be that Medicham V with the double turbo energy attached, and play resumes on Entei's side. Let's see if they can close out the game here. Nest Ball being played. That'll shuffle the deck and those all the Magma Basin Stadium that are at the bottom of the deck. Nest Ball is most likely going to find nothing here. Okay. Definitely need 1 more bench Pokemon for the Entei to take the KO. Or the Radiant Charizard could take the KO as well. There we go. Radiant Charizard was in hand. Nest Ball just being played to shuffle up the deck and move those Magma Basin around from the bottom of the deck from that Iono a few turns ago. Switch, basic switch being played to move the Entei V into the active spot. Fleet-footed incoming. There it is. To draw a card. Nest Ball being found, not playable there. Switch being played. Again. And let's see if we have a Fire Energy in hand. Players taking a look through the discard pile, seeing what's has been used, switching back into that Medicham V. Okay. And Professor's Research will be played. Makes sense now. So we are looking for a Magma Basin or Fire Energy in order to close this game out. Fire Energy is found, as well as a switch, but the Medicham V can retreat as well. Fire Energy being debated on who to attach to on the bench. Doesn't really matter. Charizard gets the KO. Entei gets the KO here. Escape Rope would win the game as well. But it looks like we're going for the basic switch to switch into that Radiant Charizard. Radiant Charizard can attack for 1 Fire Energy because the opponent has taken 4 prize cards thanks to Radiant Charizard's Excited Heart ability. It swings for 250 damage, taking the KO on the opposing Miraidon EX and the game. What do you guys think of this video and the commentary? Please let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.